What up, all you girls, gays, and theys? It is your favorite Arkansas hillbilly here, Ruby Moonshine, and today I'm going to be diving into something I have always wanted to try. Okay, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't know what I'm doing with this channel. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. But I really want to get back into artistic makeup. And I really want to start teaching myself how to do artsy makeup. I can do a little bit of special effects makeup from back when I was in film school. I do know how to do really, really dramatic makeup. But really, really artsy makeup kind of scares me, not gonna lie, but I feel a really strong calling towards makeup. It's just, I don't know. At this point in my life, I am no longer working for a very, 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 I don't know a positive word to describe this company, but I used to work for them and they were a large makeup store and they were known for selling high-end makeup along with a bunch of other luxury goods. I'm going to use luxury in quotation marks because despite what my boss would love you to believe, it was not a luxurious store. I was let go for lack of sales reasons a week after I got into a real bad car accident, which my boss loved to joke about while I was still working for the company, along with joking about my disabilities, which that was nice. I'm trying to make this video positive, believe it or not. Like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with my life at this point. I'm just in a slump at the moment. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. It's just, I want to get back into makeup and have a more positive experience with makeup instead of feeding off of insecurities and trying to sell you a product just based off of your fears and your insecurities and your all that. I want to have a positive experience with makeup like I used to have back when I used to actually do makeup for the sheer enjoyment and the sheer artistic ability of it. So long story short, let's just get into the video. I'm done with this call. So back when I was working for a loser company, I had this thing I was doing with my coworkers. In fact, I had asked my boss before anybody leaves down in the comments, I had asked my boss if I could start doing really artsy makeup for Pride Month and wearing it to work to like share enjoyment and share. And I was having my coworkers and some of the bosses in the store even pick what theme I would go with, and I would do that makeup. It lasted for 2 weeks, and then my boss said either the makeup goes or I go. So I switched to more conservative makeup and was done with it. But long story short, I wouldn't have done the makeup if I didn't ask beforehand to do it to my boss and her say, oh, that would be nice. Yeah, I can see that. That could probably be nice. But I still remember some of the themes that were suggested by my coworkers at the time, and one was Kesha. So back when I was working for Loser Company, one of my coworkers said, hey, could you do a Kesha themed makeup look? And as a Kesha fan, I'm so sorry, I have a lisp, but anyhow, yeah, I decided, hey, that would be a very cool idea because I'm a huge Kesha fan. I remember her back in the early 2000s, honestly, even though I'm just 22. I do remember my mom actually banned me from listening to Kesha when I was younger, and then when I would listen to it behind her back. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching. And with Kesha being one of my favorite artists at the time, and also ever since I was like 15, yeah, I decided, yeah, that would be a good makeup option. And I had it written down, and then they said, like I said, either the makeup goes or I go. And then they fired me a month later after a car accident. Not only did I clip my hair back, I also adjusted my makeup mirror and my makeup light. And now we got a better setup. I'm going to start out with using my concealer to, I'm just going to put the hoof on a makeup sponge and apply the product to the makeup sponge. And why am I overexposed? I'm basically going to use a makeup sponge to apply to my eye. Doop, doop, doop. I'm going to go in the shade. I'm going to go in the shade in my Morphe palette and just go in the shade. I love that they named it. I'm going to be using this brush right here and going in the shade. I love saying that. In the shade. And just putting it on the outer corner of my eye, like, oh, remember to dab, not swipe. But I'm going to just, I need to make, remember kids, cleanup comes later. So right now, I'm just going in with the craziness and just doing like a little C motion. More like a bow and arrow motion now that I think about it. It's just like a whoop. Dab, 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 dab. I'm going to do better with this eye. I just know it because I always do better with this eye than I do with the other eye. Now that I look like a little owl, I'm going to take this little brush right here and do a little bit of cleanup. I'm going to use my e.l.f. concealer like I used earlier and do some cleanup around it. I like very sharp edges. So oh my gosh. Remember people, happy little accidents. Mistakes don't exist unless it's in a relationship. This is not looking good and my hopes are lowering and lowering. But now I'm going to take this brush and go into the shade Bare It All. Because that's what I'm doing at the moment, is baring it all. Ow. Wow. Oh, ow. You got sassy with me, palette. And using it for the inner corner of my eye. Just blending. My worst enemy is blending, but you know, I'm going to do it anyway. Now I'm going to go in the shade Gold Sparkle. And I'm going to apply it all over where I just applied. What was that shade I used? Baring It All, I think. I'm going to use it to cover up the Bare It All shade. There is a method to my madness. I want everyone to know that there is a method to my madness. I don't know it, but there is a method. Now I'm going to be using my Dazzle shade. I had to remember. This is the MAC liquid eyeshadow that I just love to death. And it's in the shade Flash and Dash. These are the Dazzle shadows and I love them. The Dazzle liquid eyeshadows, they are amazing. I love them. Now, Kesha famously said in an interview, and I absolutely love this statement, that a few of her friends still call her, and people that she hasn't hung out with in years, and they still call her and say, hey, you left glitter in my carpet. But anyhow, she famously said in an interview that there are people still calling her saying, hey, I'm still finding glitter in my carpet from your glitter phase, and please pay for my carpet cleaning. I love the way it shimmers. Oh my gosh, my list. Now we're going back in the shade, and I'm going to be outlining or overlining it just a hair. I am alternating between the brush and my finger for this. So I'm going in a little bit with the brush and then like smoothing it down with my finger. Someone's going to send me a unalive thread in the comments for that, but I don't care. Now I'm going to be using these stickers that I got at Walmart to basically give out the shape of the, I'm going to use them as stencils basically, and to try to get the shape of the dollar sign. I also went ahead and shaved off a little more of the shadow for this. And I'm going to be using the little stickers. Come on, get out. I'm going to use these little stickers. Just put them down like stencils. This one's getting in my eyebrow for some weird reason. Okay, maybe if I have it off center. Oh yeah, I am real scared to try this out, but I'm going in with my LA CoverGirl eyeshadow. This is going to either, why did I say eyeliner? Shadow instead of eyeliner. Eyeliner, and this is either going to make or break the look. But if I posted this video, it made it. So, also there is a fly annoying the out of me. As we speak, I'm sorry, I live on a ranch, but let's just go in with the eyeliner. Now it's time. I let it dry a good bit before, oh my gosh, now I can't get the sticker off. Okay, you know what? I'm going to get you off first. It's looking promising. It's looking promising. Let's see what we got. Okay, that looks doable. I'm impressed with how good that looks. Remember how I said this eye would look better than this eye? I think it won't. Let's just, oh. That is not too bad. I can fix, do a little cleanup with a wet Q-tip. Yeah, she's serving. Now I'm going back in the shade and just dabbing that a little on over here and just fixing. Now it's time for the lines. It's really, I'm trying to go from curve to curve, and I'm just basically like leaning into it. I effed up. Hold up. Let me get my Q-tip. We had a happy little accident on the floor. It's okay. It's okay. Just a happy little accident. We're gonna pretend that looks good. We're gonna pretend it looks good. Of course, this one's better, but that may change. I'm going in with Miss Rosie's Professional Makeup Longwear Gel Eyeliner. It's basically one of these things that you rub into your eye. That I love this. It's basically one of those things that you just rub into your eye like that. And oh my gosh, it's watery over here, so I'm gonna have to. It's time for the eyebrow. I'm not gonna lie, I do not know how to do eyebrows. But I feel in the heart that it's going to be in the shade Feel in the Heart. And I'm just going to, like I said, I cannot do eyebrows to save my life. I just do them like this and rub out the edges. And repeat the step on the other. I did a little touch up with the eyeliner, and now I'm going to be putting on my foundation. I'm going to first use my e.l.f. concealer and a fluffy brush to cover up all my acne and imperfections. I'm also going to be covering up my burn mark, and I'm always forgetting this. But we're going to be taking a beauty blender and blending out that concealer all over my face that is completely bare underneath. Now I'm going to be using my MAC Studio Fix foundation. Why do I want to call it concealer? I don't know. Now the album cover that I'm referencing, Kesha is always sporting a blue lip in the album cover picture. So I'm going to be using my MAC eyeshadow stick and giving myself a blue lip. I love this stuff for eyeshadow. And I'm going to overline my lip as I always do. Now I can't talk and do my lipstick, so I'm just going to. It has a weird taste, but I love to overline my lip. I love my little arches. And so this is the final look. I absolutely adore this. I'm absolutely loving this. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you can tolerate my personality or if you just want to. And as always, I love you guys. Goodbye.